What's up, everyone? Sorry for all my bullshit lately with the stupid testing. That doesn't even really matter, I guess. It does matter because I'm making my shit top notch performance wise. Not really. I'm sorry. Anyways, I'm back, I guess, with kind of a devlog. Devlog. It's not really a how-to. I mean, I'm gonna show you how to do it, but I'm not calling it a how-to, so that way if I suck and you guys can't do it, you can't be like, your how-to didn't work. It's a devlog. This one's a devlog. So, dude, there's a lot to do with this one, but it's not. I know I always say that it's not that hard. I know I should just shut up because I'm an idiot. It is that hard. I mean, it took me I don't know. It took me like a couple days once I actually got down to it. Because dude, there's a ton of debugging that you have to do. But just I don't know. I mean, it's not hard. If you know C++, it's not hard. I'm an idiot. I mean, I know C++. I don't know C++. But it took me a little bit just to kind of go through each and every time I cleared a red error, it's like, I got a new red error. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to take a look at the files, I guess, some of them, whatever they are. I don't know. There's not too much, I guess, like I said. But what I have is, let me bring in this file over here. So I keep this one. I renamed it source because I have actually I've got Unreal 5.5.4, whatever it is, the source code engine. I think you need to do that to do. You need that to do the server. What's it called? Dedicated server. But I don't know. I mean, I've only ever built a dedicated server on a source code. I don't know if you can do it on a regular one. I mean, maybe you can. I don't know. 5.5 though. Yeah, so I'm moving my project to 5.5. I will stop yapping random tangents. But as you can see, so what I did is I've got all of the content. All of the content? Yeah, so I took all of the content, as you can see, and I just dropped everything from the city sample into here. I might have to change the splash. I'll have to change that to kind of like my city skyline. You can change it to whatever game your logo-ish is. But so you drop all of this in here, all of the content. The next thing that you do is the source folder. Not the source folder, I'm sorry. That's the plugins. The plugins are a pain in the booty. So basically, what you actually want to do is, I'll have to do a new file explorer, and I'm going to go into here. Might cut this out just so you don't see, but so I've got a backup. In my backup, I've got the Lyra City sample, which I think is my base code, kind of the base project. And then I've got here, I've got the city sample. So I keep these, dude, it is a lot, because then I've got my writer with my new one. I've got the city sample project, and then I've got my base project, right? So you're kind of having to manage all 6 windows at any given time, which does get a little difficult. But basically what you want to do is you want to grab all of the plugins here, and you're going to drop them into, I would actually have two of the Lyra projects, right? You're going to want to keep one as a base and then one as the project that you're updating. And the reason for that is you can go back and you can see where you messed up, because you're going to mess up. Or maybe not. Maybe you're smarter than I am. I messed up a lot. But then you go into the plugins, and so as you can see, you're going to grab all of these plugins and mix them with these, and then it's going to look something like this. The other thing, though, that you want to do is it's the source. I went into the source on that one, but you want to go into the source here, and you're going to grab all of these and maybe not these. I don't know. We'll look. We'll see what files I have. But these three right here, the city sample anim graph runtime, and the city sample editor. You're going to drop those in the plugins. One of the things that's a bit of a pain in the butt is, notice, so my city sample, do I have all of this? No, I don't, because what I did is all I did was I took the city sample plugin and I went to this one, right? And then I grabbed this and I copied it and I dropped it into here, and I renamed it citysample.uplugin. But it was just, I just copied the async mixin. Async mixin? Whatever, you know what that is. And then, let's look what I have. The build plugin, and then I did a source folder, right? So these get built when you generate files or when you build, I forget which one. There's nothing in the content. Maybe I did create the content. The build and the binaries, those all get made, right? So you go into the source, and here's, because the whole idea is you want to copy how, at least I did, because I'm an idiot and I copy, but I figure if I copy stuff enough, then it works, and this one did. So again, I mean, I guess you could just copy this one. This one's a good one to copy. What is this one? The common game. This build CS. You go back, you can do this. But basically, you want to make sure that the city sample plugin, the city sample anim graph, and the editor, they all match your other plugins, right? So you're going to have the private and the public. And then you want to put, so all of those files, what you want to do is you're going to copy them. And what I did is I think I just copied everything. And then I pasted everything into both the public and the private. And then I just went into the private and I deleted all the H files. And then I went into the public and deleted all the CPP files. So I made copies of everything. And then once you have all of that done, I rebuilt it like 10 times. So you click on here and you're gonna go to generate studio files. Then you open it up and now you're in here. At this point, I mean, I just went ahead and I built it, and then it gave me a bunch of red errors saying I'm an idiot. And then I literally I went through and I started each individual one. And it sucks because there's a lot, but you go through it. Two files that you do have to do, and this is why you have the city sample and your old project, is in the default engine INI. You're going to copy everything that is in the city. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It keeps snapping. You're going to copy everything in this, and it's in the config, and then it's here. So you're going to copy everything that is in these that is not in these, which I think in the default engine isn't too much. So I added my stupid Tad's dumb, sorry, but Tango Alpha dev. And I just went through and I made sure. I think what you do is if you highlight it and then just hit Control F, and then I literally just went through and did this, and I checked to see if it's 1-1. If it was 2-2, then I deleted it. I mean, that's a way that you can do it. However you want to copy it takes a while. This is one of the longer steps. So, and then you got to make sure that wherever it is on the city sample, it's going to be in the Lyra. So, I don't know if this is necessary. Part of the reason why I saw this is I think there were some other dudes that did something similar to this a while ago, better programmers than I am. And there is, I don't know, just in some forums and stuff, they were talking about it. So that was done. And then again, kind of going into, so I mean, you can see. So I think down here, I mean, there's a lot that you got to copy. This default game, INI. Is there anything in this one? I think there might be a little bit in this one. I did kind of mark everything, yeah. So I think it's just the staging. I don't know if I had to edit those at all. I don't know. Again, every time I'd ran it like 1,000 times and it broke on me a ton of times. Is there anything in default? I don't think there's anything in the default editor. No, there's not. Those are the only two files that I messed with, at least in the config. So once you get out of those, you do have to go into your carbon group city, the U project, whatever I guess your U project is. But you're going to open that. And these are just the plugins. This is another one that was a bit of a pain in the butt, where you have to make sure all of the plugins from, here, in this city sample, where's the U project? You know where it is, right? But whatever the U project, the city sample U project, yeah, right here. So all of the ones that are in here that are not in your Lyra project, you got to copy them. But then that's where, again, I went through and you highlight it, you double click it, Control F, make sure that it's 101. There are going to be a couple though where, let's see if I can find, you got to make sure that you don't delete, I don't know, what's sequencer? No, it's going to be like texture 3D, Niagara. So if you just do Niagara, let's just watch. I'll grab Niagara because I think there's just a Niagara. But there's going to be two, right? And then usually whatever IDE you're using, you'll see. So this is just Niagara, and then this is Niagara Fluids. There are a few of those, so just make sure you don't delete anything on accident. Trying to think what was the next step. So once you have all of those copied, I'm trying to think if I add anything on the city here. So this is associated engine. I think it's going to be 5.5 if you're using 5.5. This is, I don't know, hopefully that's not anything important. I might blur that out. I don't know if that's like specific to my build. But this just should say 5.5. If it's your source build, it'll be some big long number. All right, one thing that I forgot to mention when I was originally going over this is after you add the city sample plugins, you actually have to add them to the U project so that they're there. And then you put them as true. So I forgot to mention that. I forgot to hit that when I was first recording, so I just needed to splice this in now. So once you have that one then, you're going to, because again, remember you generated the new project files after, and then again, you're just going to have to go through, I think, half of the CPP files, like all of these. You're just going to have to find where they are because the layout's a little bit different, and so it's going to be a pain to go through. But all of the includes, you're going to get a ton of errors, right? But once you fix the includes, it's not too much. The next big thing is just, for whatever reason, I don't know if Unreal did, and I couldn't find the exact reason why they were ignoring some pointer issues, because I was getting my city sample. Let me see if I can find one. I might fast forward this so you're not bored watching me look for stuff that I have no idea actually where it is or what I'm looking for. I think it's in the character, right? Yeah, so right here, you're going to get a lot of these, like this U input action. So this, I forget exactly how this pointer works, but you're going to have to go in, and to be honest, I had to Google what the syntax was, but your city sample, so go to source, what's my H file, character, city sample character. Oh, well, ignore me on that one. Let me see if I can find one of the pointers. Yeah, right here. So you've got the object pointer. You are gonna have to get. So I wasn't total idiot. Was it line 134? Oh. Okay, maybe dude. I had to rewrite. I think there was like one file. I had to rewrite literally the entire file. What's this one? This one is though. Oh, wrong one. Is this the city sample character H? City sample character H. And it's under protected, right? Bool virtual. Dude, I may have rewritten half of the code. No, these should be the same, right? Hold on, move forward. Look, so I mean, as you can see, yes, right here, this U motion warping. You have to convert these to the new object pointers, and it has to do with the garbage collection that Unreal's moving towards. So for whatever reason, this will build, the old city sample will build with these pointers, but you're gonna have to change it to the new one. When you do that then, and I was like, oh cool, I did it, it rebuilt. Then it gave me a ton of errors when I went into, hold on, like the character, no, that's the H. Private, yeah, here we go, character, and then when you go into the CPP file, to be honest, I did not comment any of the code, which is bad. At least I didn't, comment what I did. The file that I built, though, I totally had to build. I think it was, it's in the UI. Okay, so it's in the UI. It is this city sample button prompt. This file, oh man, was a booty. I'm just gonna tell you, this code, this took me the longest. This single file probably took me as long as the rest of the project to redo this file. It was using some weird map, and I don't like maps. I think I talked about maps in one of my previous performance. See, there we go. My performance videos do actually mean something, and yes, I'm an idiot, but they're important. So the mapping, it's slower, and I'm trying to think, where's these? This is the private. Let me look at the public button prompt. Yeah. Oh shit. I do have a map. You know what? Whatever, you guys. All right, but I don't have. They had two in the original, and I took it out. Watch. Let me find it for you, because I have to show you I'm not. I'm an idiot, but I'm not that big. Yes, I'm that big of an idiot, but I'm obstinate. So there. See, look, it's already highlighted because I had to copy it into Notepad and compare. Okay, so see, look, they've got two maps. This one, funny enough, this one actually gave me all of the errors, but when I rewrote my code, I ended up leaving that one. And I think it had to do with, maybe I didn't, I don't know. It took me a while to rewrite it, to be honest, but I definitely added a whole bunch. No, that's the character, sorry. Here we go. Yeah, so just know that this one's gonna give you a pain. There's gonna be a lot of Googling on how to fix that. I totally rewrote this, so you might not want to use mine because maybe mine's not the most efficient. But yeah, just keep an eye out for this file. Once you get on that one though, really, I think the only thing is I've got to figure out the sound. It should compile after that. No, it should not, actually. I take that back. There's still quite a bit that you got to do. Once you get rid of all of those errors, it's going to compile. It's going to run. It's going to be great. And then you're going to go to package your project, and you're probably actually going to spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours making it awesome, and you're going to have the coolest game in the world, and you're going to package it, and it's going to fail, and you're going to pull your hair out and think, what's going on? Part of the reason for that is these files are all jacked up now too. So the C and or the H file and your CPPs, you're gonna have to deal with those, and it's a pain in the butt. The city sample build is not gonna work right. I think they had like this, and you gotta comment this out because you've got to go back to, again, to be honest, I'm not a great programmer. I'm an idiot. And so I just copy stuff, right? So I'm like, oh, hey, look at these work, right? These plugins work. So what's this plugin? No, not that one. That one's the one. So these three that you got to mess with, right? This mass crowd. Hey, this one works. What does this build.cs look like? I'm going to copy it. And then you just copy it. Not everything, obviously, exactly. But like, see what your errors are. See how this is done. And then you're going to change it. So one of the things that was a big pain in the butt, I'll just give you kind of a quick heads up, is the city sample C and the H. I think you get a conflicting, so hold on, let me go down here. It is your Lyra, is it your Lyra build? Lyra game build. There's like a default build, I forget, I noticed it in the code. Dude, your logs are amazing. Reading logs suck. Dude, I remember one time years ago, I had a project that I was building out the server for, and I figured there was just some issue that I could not figure it out. And I read through every line of the log, and I eventually found it, and it was something simple, like I had forgot to set a variable. That was it, right? So your logs are great. Look through your logs. That's how I found there was, what is it, this? There's like a number of arguments that were off or something, right? Because I think on the city sample, where is it? Your city sample build. There's like 3 arguments and something. There's like a default. Maybe it's not. It's the C. Is it this one? No, it's the city sample editor. Yeah. Okay. No, hold on. We're getting there. I'm finding it. City sample. Ha. Here it is. It's this one. This one's a pain in the butt too. Implement primary game module, whatever. You know what it is. Here's the build CSS. See, this one and this one is, oh no, I fixed it in this one. Sorry. Where's my Lyra? It's my Lyra C++. Lyra game module. Yeah, it's this default game implementation that messes you up. So you got a default module. Said something about like a default game. I don't know. I think I changed that like 18 times. I just messed with it. So you got to change it to 2 arguments because this takes 3 arguments. Your C here, right? Does it still have 3? Yeah. Oh yeah, this has 3. Does mine? Mine probably still has 3 too. Whatever. It compiles. It ran. It's fine. Yeah, mine still has 3. Whatever. It still worked. But I don't know, maybe I still have not gone through, and I think I mentioned that the music is all off on it, right? Like the sound, the footprints are a little bit off. So there's definitely some debugging once you get it up and running. But yeah, I just as a heads up, I think the other 2 should be good. This sample and the editor, they're good. I mean, honestly, I think I copied. I don't think you need to do much with these. No, it was the H. Yeah, so I think these are good. I mean, I did copy these a lot, right? So these are the implement module, implement game module. Do I have that on implement module? Maybe. There was a default in there. Again, it gave me messed up in the logs, and I Googled it, and that's how I found that's what it's supposed to look like. So yeah, so those are going to give you a hard time. And then once you have all that, then you're good to go, right? Again, this is why this is not a how-to, because I'm not able to walk you through every single step, because it's hard and I'm dumb. So, but once you have those, I know I'm weird. I like making it all nice and good. So then you run it, and then you get into your project, and you're like, yes, everything is running. And then you go to play it, and it breaks. So what you got to do is you're going to go to your map. We'll just use the small map, all right? Because that's like what you want. You want your dudes running around doing cool stuff in the city sample level. And they don't. Nothing works. It breaks. Stuff stalls out. You got to restart. Let's load. Sorry, my computer's slow. It's okay. Once it loads, there we go. You want to go ahead and delete the player start, and then you want to put the Lyra player start, right? So you're going to get these, and dude, this takes forever. Maybe not on your computer because your computer doesn't suck, but my computer doesn't suck. My computer is a champ. It's just, it's a laptop. I know, I'm programming on a laptop. It was actually an amazing laptop, but it's a laptop. That's why it takes so long. Anyways, and then the other thing that you need is the nav mesh bounds. As you can see, it's huge, 1,000, 100, and that doesn't even go all the way up on some of these buildings. If you ever build interiors and stuff, which I might get to later to show you guys. But yeah, so you want to go ahead and push these. I will optimize this. I've already started looking into how to optimize it. This chugs. I mean, I'm getting like 30 frames a second in the editor, and then it stalls out for like 10 seconds, and then it goes back to like 30 frames per second. So I am going to probably show you guys how to do, I'm trying to think, when I did the other video on just how to import the actual city, I think I mentioned, or maybe when I built out kind of the Lyra startup level, data layers, which are pretty cool. You can throw stuff in data layers, have variables that call different data layers. I will show all of that in the future, but you can turn, thinking some of these decals and stuff off to boost performance. I ended up running, there's a couple debug tools that you can run. Let me see if I can show you some of those that I've done. So as you can see, like, there's some debug tools that you can use to check your performance, see how awful my computer is chugging along. But notice it's always the shading. No, it's not the shading, sorry. Mostly the lighting, yeah, sorry. It's going to be taking up a majority of the ray tracing. Yeah, dude, the lighting is crazy on this one. So, world tick timer. There's some tools that you can use, but I will be going into optimization on all of those. But again, everything should come in. It takes a while to build. Be patient, and then insert your Lyra. Sorry, I don't know where they went anymore. But your Lyra player starts, and then your nav mesh bounds, and you should be good to go. Oh, the other thing that you got to do is world settings. Make sure that your default gameplay experience. What's this one? It's elimination. So you can build them out. I'm going to do that in later videos. Show you how to build some different cool gameplay experiences. But that should be it. That should be my devlog on how I did it. This is not a tutorial for you to do it. Because if you ask me questions, I'm going to say, I don't know how to do it, dude. I'm an idiot. I just type letters until stuff works. So anyways, this video is far too long, and I'm rambling, and you guys are probably annoyed with me. What is this, like 40 minutes of me being an idiot? I might chop the video down, try and save some time, but that's it. So that's devlog on this. This is Unreal Engine 5.5. So mutable characters and motion warping, or I don't know, I might just steal the parkour animations from the motion warping. I've looked into that, and a lot of people say don't do it, especially if you're solo dev, because you're stupid and you don't know how to program, which is why you're not working for a AAA company. And I say, okay, you're right. I am. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to use motion warping. If you guys want it, let me know. But I might just kind of show how to build kind of our own parkour. You know, because I mean, that's kind of the whole thing about using the city, right? To have your dude running around doing cool stuff in the city. But anyways, all right, again, rambling. I will let you guys go. That's how I did this, and I will see you guys next time.